Adam here from the Next Level Showcast on Next Level Radio. Just to give you a quick preview of this week's show. Ben wasn't feeling well, so I had a special guest co-host, Manny Munoz, was kind enough to help me out on short notice. Him and I went over the usual box office results, new releases, Next Level news, and Weird of the Week. In addition to that, though, we also spoke about the New York hotel that's offering you a social media wedding concierge. We briefly discussed a new study that came out about how a small nuclear war could destroy the world, not to freak anybody out or anything. And we also recap the interview Ben and I did this past week with Darren DeWitt Henson. So make sure you check out all of our pages, facebook.com/Next Level Radio Online. Twitter is at NXT Level Radio, and of course our website where you can find pretty much anything and everything about the show and about the station in general, www.nextlevelradioonline.com. Hope you enjoy, and make sure you check out all our other shows and interviews as well on our website. Thanks again. And welcome to a Next Level Showcast on Next Level Radio. Ben is not here. He's feeling a little ill, so I'm joined by a special guest co-host tonight, Manny Munoz. Manny, how you doing?
Oh, hello. Hello, Adam.
And where are you at right now again?
Brooklyn, New York, United States of America.
The United States of America, not the Brooklyn in
Earth.
France.
Not Brooklyn in France, no.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
So thank you. I want to thank you first and foremost for joining me on such short notice. I think I had texted you maybe 2 hours ago to see if you could come on the show.
Was it 2 hours? It felt like an hour ago.
It does feel like an hour ago, but I think it was about 2 hours.
You're so lucky that I had so much stuff happening before this hour, and not now.
I'm lucky that you were available.
Yes.
I do really appreciate it, though.
I appreciate you guys having me on again, even and next week maybe as well.
Yeah, Manny will be joining me next week as well. Ben is going to be out of town,
surprise.
So
Spoilers.
2 weeks in a row.
That's crazy.
We can talk about The Walking Dead.
Wait, hold on. Was I the first guest on your show?
You were, yeah. Back
when it was called
Nerd
Geek Week
Sentimental.
Or
Yeah,
This Week in Geek.
No, it's Nerd Sentimental.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you were. But since then, we've had quite a few. We've had, I think, 5 or 6 guests since then.
Nice.
So you were the first, but not the last. But again, I thank you very much for joining us. So how is everything in Brooklyn, by the way, before we get into everything? Is it just as cold as Pennsylvania?
Sort of rainy. No, there's probably less snow, probably less cold, but more wind, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get right into it. Let's kick things off with the box office results.
Hoot.
All right, and this week in the box office, finishing at number 1, we had Noah. It was opened at number 1. It was first week this week, made $44 million.
Wow, good.
So that's it's a pretty good opening. Number 2 was Divergent. And Divergent was number 1 last week, so it didn't last very long at the top, which kind of goes to show you that. I mean, it did really, really well last week. I think it had somewhere in the 50s, 60s, somewhere around there.
I saw a couple posters for it. I have no idea what it's about.
Divergent. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple trailers. It's like a Hunger Games and Twilight thing where it's off a book and it's a teenage cast. You know what I mean, or a younger cast, I should say.
But it's like sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's trying to ride the whole Hunger Games wave.
Sweet.
So that was number 2. Number 3 is Muppets Most Wanted. That dropped back from number 2, 11.3 mil. So that's not too bad still.
That I want to see.
Yeah, I don't know that it's doing as well as I thought, though. I thought it would be doing a little better, to be honest.
Yeah.
You don't think
it's the second one. It's like it's not going to be as good as I feel like the first one was, but yeah, I still want to see it for a lot of its meta jokes, as one friend has already called it.
Oh yeah,
like super meta.
I definitely want to see it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That one's in its second week, so is Divergent. In its fourth week, at number 4, Mr. Peabody and Sherman, 9.5 mil this week.
Wow.
That was number 3 as well. Everything, Noah moved into number 1, and everything else dropped back a spot. So number 5 was God's Not Dead, which was number 4 last week, in its second week with 9 mil. I'm not sure I have any interest in that movie.
I have no idea what that is about.
Yeah, I actually didn't know it released until I was reading these results last week.
Is it a documentary? What is that?
No, I don't think it is. It sounds like it would be, though.
Yeah.
But I meant to look into it a little more over the week, and I just forgot because I'm not sure that I really cared to. But so that does it for the top 5. Coming out this coming Friday, April 4th. Well, this one actually will have a limited release on Thursday. Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Nice.
Are you going to be going to see it this week?
Oh, maybe in the next 2 weeks. I have to still see Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, that does look pretty good. I did want to see that.
Yeah, and Noah as well. I'm a huge Darren Aronofsky fan. I just try not to watch any more trailers or hear back from any reviews. Trying to distance myself from expectations.
Okay. So you want to go into it thinking, not wanting to build it up or build it down?
Yeah, I mean, I already built it up enough because I love the director. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, I'm going to see Captain America Thursday night, so that's...
Of course you are. You love these Marvel movies.
I'm all about the Marvel movies. Also coming out, I'm not sure... it's a Jude Law movie, Dom Hemingway? Not Don Hemingway, Dom Hemingway.
Heard of it, yes.
It's a comedy crime drama, it says. It's only an hour and a half long.
All right, not bad.
Here's the synopsis, because I haven't seen a trailer on it. After spending 12 years in prison for keeping his mouth shut, notorious safecracker Dom Hemingway is back on the streets of London looking to collect what he's owed. So...
It sounds so interesting. I'm like buying my ticket now.
Now this one is a documentary coming out. Now half of these movies, there's a bunch of movies it says coming out. Half of them I haven't heard of. Island of Lemurs, Madagascar. That is a documentary. That's only 40 minutes long.
Okay, so
I'll give you one guess who the narrator is.
Oh, I already know this.
Oh, do you do?
Because I've seen the trailer like 12 times. Morgan Freeman.
Yep.
Morgan frickin' Freeman. So this trailer for this Madagascar, whatever, Lemurs of Madagascar movie, whatever it is, I saw it in front of the Lego movie, and I laughed probably the hardest I've laughed at any trailer or something. I don't know. I just was overwhelmed by the ridiculous jumping that they do.
Because they're lemurs. I mean, how do you not laugh at lemurs? If you've ever seen a video of a lemur, like, how do you not laugh? They're funny looking.
I know.
And their mannerisms are out of this world.
I'm like cracking up inside just thinking about the one jump at the end. This one lemur's just like jumping toward, down the beach in the most ridiculous way. And they're like dancing at the same time. I can't.
It's out of control.
I can't handle it.
Also coming out, Under the Skin, which is a drama sci-fi with
I can't wait for this. Actually.
An alien seductress.
Wait! I think that's already telling too much.
What? Why?
It's really telling too much.
This is what the synopsis says.
Yeah, I think people should just watch the trailer because
does it not say she's an alien?
No, it doesn't.
Wow. Well, Scarlett Johansson's in it.
Yeah. Think of basically a really well done artsy version of Species, that like 1990s movie.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Natasha Hutcherson, I forgot her name. Natasha something.
What, in Species?
Yeah, I forgot her name. Maybe it isn't Natasha. Maybe I'm just going crazy.
Are you just making things up? It is Natasha. Natasha Henstridge.
Yep, there you go. So, and Alfred Molita's in it and all that.
Yeah.
Terrible film.
I don't think I've ever even seen it.
It's awful.
So it's a
I
good
just
thing
watched it. I was younger and I was like, ooh, there's nudity. I want to see this. So.
Well, yeah, it came out in 95, so you must have been, what, like 8?
Yeah, I was excited for it.
So also coming out, Nymphomaniac Volume 2. So Volume 1 came out a few weeks ago. I did hear good things.
They're both on demand right now and iTunes.
Okay, so they're not rated.
They're very in our not rated.
Your 8-year-old self would have had a field day.
I think actually it would have broken me down.
You wouldn't be alive right now. Same people from the first one, from Volume 1.
Right. No, he just had to. I think he had to split it into 2 movies because it was the whole Kill Bill scenario where it was 4 hours long or something, and they had to just cut it up for distribution.
You could do like Anchorman and just release a whole nother movie.
Right. I still haven't seen Volume 1 or 2, but I am definitely probably going to watch them within the next month or so.
Well, that'll be...
maybe I'll watch it this week and talk about it next week.
Also coming out on Friday is Afflicted, which I've never heard of. It's a horror movie.
Not on my radar.
Yeah.
But okay.
And then lastly, Alan Partridge with Steve Coogan, which is a thriller. Which usually he's a comedy guy.
Yeah.
When famous DJ Alan Partridge's radio station is taken over by a new media conglomerate, it sets in motion a change of events which see Alan having to work with the police to defuse a potentially violent siege. So I don't know what that's all about.
Well, Steve Coogan's in it.
Yeah, I like Steve Coogan. Did you watch Philomena, by the way, speaking of Steve Coogan?
I haven't yet, no.
You should check it out. I liked it. Ben didn't like it. He didn't even finish it, but I liked it. Okay, so that does it for box office-wise. Now, new releases, 47 Ronin is coming out on Blu-ray and DVD.
Oh, boy.
Had a whopping 12% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's so terrible.
And it made
from what looks of it.
Yeah, it made $38.3 million in the box office. Also is Anchorman 2, which we were just talking about. So you can go buy it on Blu-ray and DVD this week.
I'll see it then.
Yeah, 74% on Rotten Tomatoes, so pretty good for a second installment of a comedy like that.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was good. I thought it was really funny. I'd have to watch it again, because honestly, when I saw the first one the first time, I didn't like it.
Same for me. Yeah, I did not. I pretty much hated it. Same thing with Wedding Crashers as well for me, though.
Okay.
I did not like Wedding Crashers at first.
Yeah, Wedding Crashers got the only thing that I wouldn't have liked about Wedding Crashers, or didn't like, I should say, was that it was kind of long. It was it wasn't like a 2.5 hour movie. I mean, that was one of the first longer comedies, you know what I mean? And then 40-Year-Old Virgin was like...
Yeah, then Judd Apatow was like, I could go longer.
Yeah, I can beat that. By the way, Anchorman 2 made $127.3 million in the box office. And then finally, for movies at least, on Blu-ray and DVD, is Knights of Badassdom. 43% on Rotten Tomatoes, grossed $86.8K in the box office. But I don't think it was widely released, to be honest.
What time period is that set in?
That's a good question. I know Steve Zahn's in it. Did you see anything about it or no?
Steve Zahn's in it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know what this is now. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know what time period it's set in.
No, it's current. It's a current.
Is it?
Yeah, I believe. I think what's his name's in it? Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage is in it. Is he the guy in
Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones, yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
Game of Thrones.
And then lastly, I'm only mentioning this last one. Psych Season 8 is coming out on DVD, which is a really quick turnaround because it just ended this past week.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the season yet. I have it all saved up on my computer waiting to watch, and I haven't gone to it yet because I feel like it's been, it's gone stale.
Okay, I have never seen the show, but I've wanted to check it out.
Watch like the first 4 seasons.
Okay, yeah, I hear it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of odd that it just ended Wednesday and is already coming out on DVD. I mean, that's a really quick turnaround.
Yeah,
they couldn't wait to get that thing out to sell, I guess. But so that wraps it up. So unless you have anything further on those, Manny, we're going to take a quick music break and come back. We're going to talk a little bit about a story that had come out this week involving social media and weddings, along with the next level news. So that'll be after the break. So stick around. There's plenty more to come. We are back here on the Next Level Showcast on Next Level Radio. And, excuse me, I saw this article. This just came out a couple days ago. Apparently for $3,000, a social media wedding concierge will live tweet your wedding for you. This is being offered by W Hotels in New York City. So, are you familiar with the W Hotels there, Manny?
Oh yeah, I know W Hotels.
Okay,
I know the W Hotels.
I don't know them at all.
There's one in Hoboken too. That's I guess closest to you.
Oh really?
If you want to drive an hour and a half and spend huge loads of money.
Oh, are they already expensive?
They're they're a little pricey.
Okay,
but they're cool. They're modern. For
$3,000,
hip.
They will create hashtags and live tweet your wedding for, like I said, for $3,000. So some of the important job responsibilities include uploading filtered wedding photos to Instagram, pinning your registry items and dream honeymoon destinations to Pinterest, and making sure your guests are all tweeting using the correct unified hashtags. They will also even put a Shutterfly book together afterwards so you can reminisce over all the social media milestones.
Oh, that's so nice of them.
Would you ever pay $3,000 for something like that?
I already set an appointment for my future wedding. I don't have a fiance or anything yet, but I'm really excited about this, and I'm hoping Twitter is still around whenever I get married, and so I could do this. This sounds like amazing investment. No, it does not sound.
It sounds like the easiest $3,000 you could ever make.
Right. Well, the thing is, I mean, it's a lot of work for whoever's doing it. If it's just like one person or two people, I mean, I understand. But there's already like services where they'll assign a hashtag to your thing, and they post. People could like live tweet and then use a hashtag, and it shows up like on a monitor or projector, and it shows up within your party. And any kind of like pictures you take in a photo booth or such will go up on their Twitter or your specialized Twitter or whatever. So they already have like services like this, but I never heard of like a hotel doing it themselves,
right?
Or having one person just going around and doing all the like filtering photos like Instagram style and binding videos. It's just like crazy. It's just like a social media. It's basically like a social media videographer.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like, I don't know if it sounds over the top, but I mean, it kind of does. You know what I mean? Like, it's bad
Twitter's such
enough.
like a temporary. It's like a present temporary thing. It's nice for people that can't make it to your wedding or whatever. But like,
or
I would say, if you're a huge wedding, like let's say you're, like Bill Gates getting married or something like that. Like someone huge, like Mark Zuckerberg getting married. This kind of thing happens. I feel like people would pay attention to it and watch it. But like,
does Mark Zuckerberg tweet?
I have no idea.
Is he allowed to? Isn't that like competition?
But like, celebrities and such, like people like people care about, or like
people who can afford to have a wedding at the W Hotel.
Yeah, sure, those.
Well, I mean, you said they're pretty expensive, so I mean, I'm assuming if you can have a hotel there, you can probably afford an extra $3,000 for someone to try and get your wedding trending on Twitter.
It's just that it's going to be like I don't know. I would like nice photos done, so you'd get like a photographer done, and then maybe a videographer, and then you would also have to get this person, because you can't this person can replace the other services because they're going to be a really like crappy mobile type of photos and stuff. So
yeah, and like Andrea said in the message board, which if you want to message us, you can. It's right on the Mixler page. You do have to have an account to send a message. If you don't feel like doing that. But you can hook it up.
Yeah, you can hook it up through Facebook.
That's true, and it is free too. But if you don't feel like setting up an account, you can just tweet us. Not a problem. At NXT Level Radio. But the comment says, wouldn't tweeting it upset the people you didn't invite? So, I mean, that's a possibility, too. But, I mean, in all honesty, they're probably seeing, like, on Facebook now, people post pictures all the time.
Yep.
You always see that. And then, so, I mean, they're already upset, probably.
Yeah. Plus, think of the people that, like, a lot of these maybe might be, like, destination weddings and such, where, like,
right. Where you can only invite, like, 10 people.
To go. Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. But not at the W Hotel, I wouldn't think.
No, I guess
New York. Not. I could see like that. That would be something for I don't know, like not the sands, like Sandals. All those resorts down in the islands. I could see that. This, I mean, I would never personally pay for it because I could do it well, I mean, I couldn't do it myself because I was getting married, but
yeah,
weddings are expensive as it is. I mean, you're paying easily, and like I'm talking, the cheap is like $50 to $60 a plate.
Nice.
Most of them are far and beyond that, and that's just to feed the people. But I don't know. I personally would not pay for that.
No, I mean, I'd get a friend to do it.
Yeah,
but I would,
yeah, pay them $100.
It's really, it's a lot. It's very simple. Just people aren't very techy, but it's kind of simple to just hook up like a GoPro camera or something up into a Wi-Fi thing and just like have it streaming your wedding.
Right,
the
and
whole
that's
friggin' thing, and people could just watch it if they want.
My friend Ryan just got married back in November, and he did that. Or his brother-in-law had a GoPro, and he GoPro'd the whole thing.
Yeah,
I mean, we didn't even hire a videographer for our wedding. We had my wife's uncle and my brother-in-law do 2 separate videos, and we just had the photographer.
Great.
So I don't know, not for me. So anyway, I guess we can go into next level news real quick and knock that off the list.
Let's do it.
This is next level news.
The volume's a little bit low. So in today's next level news, we have. I lost it. Hold on. Oh, here you go. Emma Watson addresses Little Mermaid casting rumors. Did you hear about this?
No, but Little Mermaid is going to be directed by Sofia Coppola, right?
Yes.
That's crazy to me.
Why?
Well, because she did like Lost in Translation and what was that? What was that one movie? Not The Bling Ring. She did that too, though. Marie Antoinette, and then there was another one that I can't. Virgin Suicides, which is super like, they're all like indie and very subtle.
Okay.
Like no fantastical elements or anything like that. So it should be interesting. Yeah. Although this isn't like a Disney.
I was gonna say I don't think
it's not Disney. A Disney Little Mermaid. It's very much we're borrowing the Hans Christian Andersen. Was it Hans Christian Andersen? I forget who wrote it. Some guy from Denmark. Real Little Mermaid, and it's free for anyone to use, I believe, because it's like one of those free copyright.
Well,
yeah.
Well, as you said, Sofia Coppola has signed on, I believe, just like last week or a couple weeks ago. So media outlets were speculating that Emma Watson, who was in her movie Bling Ring, would be perfect for Ariel. According to Watson, though, she has not been offered it yet, but she said she would have to read it first, but she says she loves Sophia so much. So that leads me to believe that she probably would do it. I mean, yeah. I can't imagine this movie's coming out within the next couple of years, I think.
Well, you're a huge Disney fan. How would you feel? Would you go and see a Little Mermaid adaptation that's not Disney?
If it wasn't Disney?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. I would have to see a trailer, to be honest.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on in next level news, Kevin Spacey is going to play Winston Churchill in a biopic coming up.
Who isn't he playing? I feel like he's playing.
Well, he's played an American politician. Now he gets to go play an English politician, a British politician.
I want to see how. I feel like his accent will still be like Georgia Southern accent. Yeah,
the Frank Underwood accent. Did you see Did you watch the Oscars at all?
I did. Yeah,
where he came out with the Frank Underwood accent.
That was actually one of the better parts of the night.
Yeah. So it's called Captain of the Gate. It's going to center around Churchill's rise to power in the Second World War. So I'm not sure when it comes out. I don't think it says. But, Kevin Spacey, man, I love that guy. Everything he does, he's fantastic. It's kind of interesting because lately he kind of, or I guess majority of his roles are, would you say, like a bad guy?
Sort of.
Or like a guy you love to hate or hate to love, or
there was a time where he was like playing these roles I just didn't care about, like at all. Like he was just doing these movies, and like Life of David Gale was like okay, but like during that era, he just like started doing these weird movies.
Yeah, I think I saw that movie. That was a pretty weird movie, wasn't it?
It wasn't pretty. It was like pretty straightforward. It was just like pretty dark.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I did see that. I don't remember what it was about, but I do
But
remember.
I mean, from moving on from like he was in Seven.
He was great in that movie.
You know, and American Beauty, like those are really great films, and he did a fantastic job in both.
Well, yeah, he's a great dramatic actor.
Right, but then he kind of like teetered off, and I guess he was doing Broadway stuff, and I think now he's back, and now he's probably going to try to do more, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
more crazier film roles.
If you look at his more popular films, I mean, he was great in Horrible Bosses, which is recent, but it was like a minor role. But like most,
I forgot about that. Wow,
most of the roles he's known for are a little older. I mean,
right.
I mean, 21 was like 6 years ago, but he was good in that.
Oh
movie.
yeah.
You know, he was in Superman Returns, which did not do well.
Oh God. Let's not go on that one.
But like, you know, Seven, like you said, Usual Suspects, stuff like that. Those were all like 90s films, American Beauty. But do you watch House of Cards?
Yeah, oh yeah, religiously. Well, not religiously, I guess.
Yeah, you can't watch
like
it.
Sporadic. Yeah, it's like I do it for a week, a year, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it probably within the first weekend. I think I saw it all. Yeah,
okay.
Definitely like 2 days. I watched all of second season.
Oh, you watched the whole second season already?
Oh yeah,
I'm only a couple episodes.
The first weekend.
I'm only 2 episodes.
Wow, you got to get on that.
I know. Well, I didn't start watching season 1 till a few weeks ago. So.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, it
really
wasn't. Yeah. So anyway, last one for Next Level News. True Detective. I don't know if you heard about this. They're going to compete for an Emmy as a drama instead of a miniseries.
It's apparently a big deal. A friend was talking about this. It's a big deal because it's not going for a miniseries like other shows would be, like on HBO. That doesn't like continue on for the next season.
Right.
So like what a miniseries is a series that goes on for a season, and then if there is another season of it, it's like entirely different cast and storyline. So for example, American Horror Story, it's a TV series and there's one every season or year.
Right.
But it's a completely different cast, or a little bit of a different cast and a completely different storyline. So therefore, it contends in the miniseries category.
Now, miniseries is a little, I would say, easier to win, right?
It's usually easier to win because there's like less of them.
Right.
But now the True Detective, now the True Detective's in competing in the regular series, drama series category. They're going against Breaking Bad, House of Cards, Game of Thrones, Boardwalk Empire, Newsroom.
Right?
Mad Men.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's like a big huge competition there.
I was gonna say that's why it was such a big story, because it looks like it's taking aim at like getting it over Breaking Bad.
Yeah, well, especially with Breaking Bad being its last season and stuff, I feel like it was, it's. I think it would have won basically all those, everything it was nominated for. I think it would be winning.
Right.
But now, because of True Detective, it was a huge success. I think it's a brilliant series. Are
they doing a second one?
They are, but it's going to be a totally different cast and story.
Okay.
And
so no McConaughey and Woody.
Correct. Same writer, Nicholas Pizzolatto. I don't want to
Ben
butcher the
Affleck
name.
and Wesley Snipes next year.
Yeah, as Batman and Blade.
Yeah.
In Louisiana.
In Louisiana, yes. That's where they're set.
No, I hear that it's going to be at least one female lead character, because I think he wanted to do that, and also the public was saying how it's kind of misogynistic in the way it was like done, but I think that's part of the story. Anyway, it's a great series. If you haven't seen True Detective, if you haven't finished it, do that now, because it's really fantastic.
Yeah, I don't have HBO, so I can't watch it.
I will be giving you my HBO account.
Okay.
The president of HBO Go or HBO said it's okay, so
awesome.
I will give you that.
All right. Well, let's take another quick break. We'll come back. When we come back, we're going to talk about the interview Ben and I did with Darren DeWitt Henson earlier this week on Tuesday. Ben also talked to comedian Craig Shoemaker Thursday, but I wasn't able to make it to that one because it was during the day, so we're going to wait until Ben comes back to recap that one. Like I said earlier, if you want to tweet us at NXT Level Radio, Facebook is facebook.com/Next Level Radio Online. Make sure you like the page because that's pretty much where we post a lot of stuff. And always check out our website for all previous interviews, podcasts, news stories, stuff like that. That's nextlevelradioonline.com. So we'll be right back. And like I said, we'll talk about the Darren DeWitt Henson interview, Weird of the Week, and maybe a little bit more. Stick around. We are back here on the Next Level Showcast on Next Level Radio. Again, I am Adam Gorey, joined by a special guest co-host tonight, Manny Munoz. Again, Manny, we'd really like to thank you for coming on the show tonight.
Oh, no problem.
On such short notice.
A pleasure and an honor.
Rooney. So, Ben and I had the honor of being able to interview Darren DeWitt Henson this past week on Tuesday night. He was out on the West Coast, and as most of you know, we're on the East Coast, so we had to do it at like 9 o'clock our time, which was only like 6 o'clock his time. But anyway, if you don't know who Darren DeWitt Henson is, you can definitely check him out on Twitter at Mr. D Hen, and his website darrenhenson.com. He's an actor, a choreographer, a director, and an author now. He has 2 books out now. His second book, Ain't That the Truth, actually sounded pretty cool. But he was in, I'm trying to think what movies, Stomp the Yard, Tekken, The Express, where he played Jim Brown. And then also he was the choreographer for people like Britney Spears. He did some J-Lo stuff, NSYNC, 98 Degrees, New Kids on the Block. All your favorite 90s singers and stuff like that. And he still does choreography stuff today. But he was a really cool guy, awesome to talk to. If you haven't heard the interview, go to nextlevelradioonline.com and go to the interviews tab. It should be up there. And while you're there, if you click the link to our YouTube site, subscribe, because that's where all our interviews and shows are posted after the fact. But I have a couple clips. I only have 2 clips from the interview. Like I said, if you want to check out the whole thing, go to our website. This first one is about Darren's dance grooves. He's done a lot between his books and movies and whatnot. But I asked him basically, if there are people
you're acting
that just know him from Darren's dance grooves. So here's that clip.
Now, as much as you've done, we talked about your acting, both past and present, and your 2 books. How often do people recognize you just as Darren from Darren's Dance Grooves? I gotta ask.
Every day. Honestly, there is an equilibrium when it comes to my acting as well as my dancing. And I have just as many fans still with my choreography, because I'm still choreographing, but I have fans that have grown up with me. And now they passed on the DVD or the VHS to their sisters or brothers. So it's fun. I mean, I get people every day. I was stopped at the airport yesterday, actually, and this lady said, "My daughter danced to your DVD for years." and that just makes me feel happy and proud, and it makes me feel like I'm a part of people's lives.
So, I don't know, Manny. Did you ever have Darren's dance grooves? You strike me as a dancer.
Yeah, like every bar and bat mitzvah I've been to, and slash like Sweet 16 and quinceañera I've been to, I'm sure we've danced a couple. Hell, even weddings. I'm pretty sure even weddings we've done like some bye or whatever he's done.
Well, I mean, Bye 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 is probably his most famous famous one I could think of off the top of my head. Because,
right.
I mean, that's the one all the little teenage girls back then were trying to do, a.k.a. my wife. She admitted to me that she had the VHS when she was younger.
The VHS of it.
Yeah, that's how long ago it was that she had it. But you can get it. I definitely know it's on YouTube. I think it's still, you can buy it on Amazon and whatnot. So,
Wow.
This second clip,
that with a little bit of party and alcohol, anybody could dance Darren's moves.
Yeah, right. Or at least
great.
think you are.
Yeah.
This second clip is about Ben had asked him, being a choreographer as far as weddings go. As you mentioned, you've been at some parties lately, and you know how they do all the different, electric slide, cha-cha slide, Macarena, Cotton Eye Joe, all those.
All the slides.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to know if he got annoyed at those or if he liked them. So here's him talking about that.
I still do it from time to time. So I've lost count of the number of weddings I've done, which means I've lost count of the number of times I've played the participation dances, such as like the Macarena, electric slide, and things like that. And I'm sure you've been to your share of weddings as well. Do you get excited for people when they get up to do dances like that, or does it kind of, get on your nerves a little bit?
I actually love it. To be honest, I just got married on March 9th.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And there were people at my wedding who normally wouldn't dance, who danced. But I am kind of getting tired of certain line dances. Not so much the people actually dancing, but the song itself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear the cha-cha slide anymore. That's one that I would not mind not hearing.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
And there are a few other, but, when it comes to, line dances, they're a lot of fun, but the cha-cha slide, I don't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah, I'm right in that same boat between the cha-cha slide, the Cupid shuffle. The electric slide, I'm actually surprised has been around as long as it has.
Yeah, I like the Cupid shuffle. The electric slide is still cool, but the cha-cha, they could take that somewhere else and freeze it.
I could do without the electric slide number 2, too.
I think it's his voice that bothers me.
Oh, for the cha-cha slide?
Yeah, I think it's his voice. One time, stop. I'm like, enough, man. I don't like, his voice just bothers me.
So, that was, you could tell from that he's a real fun guy to talk to.
Yeah. I wonder if his wedding was live tweeted.
I should have asked him. I don't think this story was out yet at that point. But like I said, he was a really cool guy to talk to. We're going to try and actually get him back on the show at some point, because he had been mentioning to us that he might be in some action movies coming up.
Crazy.
Yeah, and Ben even asked him about all his choreography helping him, in these action movies, like Tekken and stuff with fight scenes, because they're not exactly the same, but knowing choreography in one thing definitely helps you in the other.
Yeah.
And he agreed with that. So it should be interesting to see what movies coming up that he's going to be in. He said he's going to let
Yard 7.
He said he can talk to us once it's released. He couldn't tell us anything now because of the confidentiality contracts.
Mm.
But like I said, a real cool guy to talk to. You definitely want to check his website out, DarrenHenson.com. If you live in the Cleveland area, definitely go, and you want to be an actor or any type of media or anything like that, definitely check out his Actors Workshop. It sounds really cool. And if you can, go buy his book, Ain't That the Truth? Because if you go and listen to the whole interview towards the beginning, he talks about some of the, I guess, excerpts from it, and it sounds like a really fun read and a really good book to go out there and get. So make sure you check him out.
Ain't that the truth?
Ain't that the truth? So anyway, saw this study that came out this week that a small nuclear war would destroy the whole world.
A little
nuclear
war. A little boom, a little bang.
Yeah.
Destroy all of Earth.
Yes. Apparently, there's an estimated 17,000 nuclear weapons in the world. which is nuts. But, obviously with that many, we could destroy the world 1,000 times over. You know what I mean? And make the Earth completely uninhabitable. But apparently,
how exactly does one little bomb, not one little bomb, but one nuclear explosion, how does it affect the world then?
One little mushroom cloud.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently a small regional nuclear war like a conflict between India and Pakistan could spark a global environmental catastrophe. According to Michael Mills, he is the lead author. He's also an atmospheric scientist. According to him, he said that even a small war, most people would be surprised that a small regional war on the other side of the planet could disrupt the global climate for at least a decade and wipe out the ozone layer for a decade. So, I mean, just something going on the other side of the world could completely mess up the ozone layer and affect the climate all over the world.
Wow. That actually reminds me of this. I went to this live podcast of Radiolab. They're through NPR, I believe, or WNYC, something like that. Okay. Anyway, Radiolab is really cool. You should check it out. They did this. They talked about the dinosaurs and the end of their world, and apparently, I'm gonna fudge up all the facts because I'm no scientist. / this is a while ago, so I don't remember it all. But basically, when the meteor hit us, it was the impact first destroyed things, but then things went up in the atmosphere and then came back down, and everything became super hot and just destroyed all of Earth, on the surface of Earth. And that's why things that have survived in the prehistoric era were more underground things,
right? Because
the heat on top of the surface. Anyway, point is, it was one meteor on one side of the planet destroyed all of Earth,
Right.
So it's the same thing.
I'm wondering meteor, what that meteor would compare. How many nuclear weapons would it take to equal that one meteor? I would say probably a couple, right?
It was a lot. I forgot. They told us the degrees that it rose. The temperatures rose, but I forgot what exactly it was.
Well,
it was pretty interesting.
And we're probably freaking everybody out right now, but apparently researchers developed a computer model of the Earth's atmosphere and ran simulations to find out what would happen if there was a nuclear war with just a fraction of the world's arsenal. Firestorms would belch over 5 million tons of ash into the sky.
There you go.
The ash would absorb the sun's rays, causing deadly cooling on the surface. Global temperatures would plummet by nearly 3 degrees Fahrenheit on average, with most of North America experiencing winters that would be colder by 4 to 10 degrees. And if you're from the north part of North America, you know that this winter was cold enough.
Yeah.
Lethal frosts would cover the earth and reduce the growing seasons by about a month for several years. Rainfall and other precipitation would be reduced by about 10%, triggering worldwide droughts and leading to wildfires in the Amazon, not the website, the actual rainforest. That would then spew more smoke into the atmosphere. The sky ash would heat the stratosphere and accelerate the chemical reactions that destroy the ozone layer. There's more. I'm going to stop there because I'm already not going to be able to sleep tonight now.
So basically, all we have to do to survive that is wear one of those big puffy winter jackets and put a lot of sunscreen on.
Yeah. Could you imagine? I mean, oil prices are going up now. Could you imagine how much they would go up then? I mean, we had to fill up our oil tank twice just this winter because of how cold it was.
This is kind of freaky to me because this is the second nuclear story I heard this week, and the other one was Obama saying he's kind of worried about Manhattan being hit with a nuclear strike or nuclear bomb going off. And I'm like, oh great, I'm not so close or not so far away from. And plus, I work in Manhattan, so I'm like, oh, it's that's reassuring. That's fine.
You're probably definitely in that radius.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely am. But Department of Homeland Security, they spend about $20 million per year on just New York, preventing any.
I was gonna say they have
threats.
All these anti-missile stuff now, don't they?
Yeah.
Although with a nuclear weapon, I don't know if that even matters.
I'm sure they have some secret satellites up there that, like, guard us or whatever. But it's still kind of scary.
Yeah, that's
we've seen enough movies that, like, it's plausible in our
Yeah, like Dante's Peak.
Yeah, and also if you just like if you compare all like the smaller crimes that happen in the city or anywhere around, like you're like, oh, I could easily sneak in this to a movie theater. Like my food, I could buy a Ben and Jerry's pint and sneak it into the movie theater easily. What else can you sneak into a movie theater? A bomb? No, don't be terrible. But like things like that. It's like it's kind of scary.
It's crazy. I mean, but you know what? I mean, to be honest,
you can't live in fear.
I was gonna say there's really no point in worrying about it because if it happens, it happens, and there is literally nothing you can do about it. I mean, it's not like locking your doors at night, to prevent somebody from breaking in. It's like you can be in your basement and you're still screwed because it's not even so much like the, it's kind of like the movie The Day After Tomorrow. That's what it's going to look like. It's completely frozen. I don't know that the Statue of Liberty will be, frozen up to her face, but it could happen.
I feel like all the listeners tonight are, upping their prescription to Paxil as we speak.
Isn't that is that a heart medication?
It treats depression.
Oh.
Because this is...
I was way off base with the heart medicine.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we should get a sponsor from Paxil then. We will make all our listeners depressed. We'll get off of that then, and we'll go into, instead of depressing and scary stuff, we'll just go into weird stuff. So we're going to go into the Weird of the Week.
And now the Next Level Showcast presents the Weird of the Week.
And the Weird of the Week this week is sponsored by the nuclear weapons that watch over us and also could destroy us. This week in the Weird of the Week, we have a boy digging a trout pond finds a 1,000-year-old body, or 1,000-year-old remains of a body. A 14-year-old boy that was digging out a trout pond. This is out of Salt Lake City, Utah. So he was digging out a trout pond in his backyard. He stumbled across a surprise: the remains of an American Indian who lived about 1,000 years ago. Experts from the Utah Department of Heritage and Arts spent Friday removing the remains, which were confirmed by a medical examiner as those of a person's from a millennium ago. Investigating the site for archaeological clues after 9th grader Ali Turks discovered it earlier this week. Apparently, according to Jeffrey Fatah, who's a department spokesperson, he said humans have occupied that valley for up to 10,000 years. We do run into situations where progress runs into ancient past. I don't know what I would do if I found remains in my backyard in Allentown.
I'm sure there's plenty that you don't know of. It's pretty,
Well, here's what the kid said. He said, when I saw it looked like a human skull, it definitely was a bit creepy. I really do think there's other bones nearby, and I don't think that it's unlikely or that lucky that I stumbled across this.
When I realized it was a human skull, I said to myself, this must be a human.
This is probably creepy.
Yeah. Way to get off depression and paranoia with following it up with a story about dead bodies everywhere.
Yeah, but at least, I don't know. Unless you believe in the paranormal, like his house is now haunted because he disturbed an ancient Indian graveyard or something like that.
Next, you're gonna tell me there's like a scary ass clown roaming the streets of Staten Island.
I knew you were gonna say that. Well, there is. A terrifying clown has been roaming the streets of Staten Island and scaring the crap out of everybody.
I am not leaving my apartment.
This is off BuzzFeed, and we'll make sure to post this on the website because there's pictures of this.
No,
clown.
You do not want to see these pictures,
it's called the Staten Island Clown. If you ever seen the movie Pennywise, it's kind of resembling that.
It's about 10 times creepier, scarier.
Because it's real life.
I'm under covers right now.
In New York City, Staten Island, there are reports of a grown man dressed in a clown costume who's wandering the streets spooking locals and haunting their dreams for years to come. Vincent Innocente, sounds about right, he was just kind of standing there waving like he's in the picture. And there is a picture above with him standing next to the clown standing next to a road closed sign holding a couple balloons in his hand.
I'm a fan of the many tweets that have been going out about it.
Yeah, sightings have been reported by the Grasmere and Richmond Valley train stations, according to Staten Island Advance. On Instagram, he's been spotted in front of the detour sign at the construction place and lurking behind trees and poles. It could just be a publicity stunt, apparently. This was updated on March 25th, so just a few days ago. The New York Post reported on Tuesday that 3 of the men who posted photographs of the clown on Instagram are all tied to the same Staten Island-based horror movie production company, Fuzz on the Lens.
Wow.
So it could be a publicity stunt. Either way, it's kind of freaky.
I mean, I only drive through Staten Island. I never actually stopped in it because I was afraid as it was.
Right.
Now hearing this, I might just like,
if you get a chance,
drive through the city every time.
Yeah, if you get a chance, there's a video of Vic DiBitetto. He's a comedian. I'd probably pronounce it. It's probably like it's DIBITETTO. It's probably DiBitetto.
Yeah.
He's appeared in films made by the Fuzz on the Lens production company. Spotted the clown in daylight, and he made a explicit video that he posted to Facebook. It's pretty funny, though. I've seen a few videos by that guy. It's pretty funny. Apparently, Fuzz on the Lens denied they orchestrated the clown. Oh, wait, no, sorry.
Well, Friday, update.
I just saw that.
Friday, March 8th, 28th.
Because when I pulled this story up, it was, I think, like Wednesday or Thursday. So on Friday, March 28th, the studio owned up to the stunt. So...
yeah, but you know what? This clown that they have in the stunt
doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look like the other one.
No.
So I think they're just like, in a not scary movie, what I'm thinking, Scream, like the second killers are imitating the other killer.
Right.
I feel this one they're just imitating and playing off this clown guy, and now all these people are going to be haunted by the real clown guy.
Yeah, that is a good, very good possibility.
Right. And I'm still scared shitless right now.
Yeah, I know.
I'm afraid.
We didn't talk about it on this show, but I do remember hearing, I think it was out in England or somewhere over in Europe, where somebody did this same thing. Like they dressed up as the clown and were kind of just creeping all over the place.
Oh man, I want to see this guy on a random Google image, like Google Street View, randomly show up.
That would be pretty cool.
Somebody does that with the horse head masks, and it's great. You'll just go to this random place, and then all of a sudden it's this guy standing there with a horse head mask on. It's very, very creepy, but also hilarious.
Okay, now we're good.
We're back.
The program broke. I fixed it. We're good. A little bit of technical difficulty. Sorry about that. I'm not sure where it cut out, but we were talking about the creepy clown. No. Creepy clown. I can't talk today.
Creepy clown in Staten Island, and apparently it was a publicity stunt, and we're still scared.
Yeah, we still don't believe them.
Yeah.
So anyway, I only have one last story for the Weird of the Week, and then we'll wrap up the show. There is a new restaurant in India. It's called the New Lucky Restaurant. It was built on an old Muslim cemetery, and the owner says, you can eat with dead people.
Yeah.
So
it's called New Lucky because you're constantly reminded that you're alive and eating while sitting and eating next to a dead person.
Right. It's letting customers dine with the dead after they built their business on an old graveyard. The owner of the eatery in Ahmedabad in India.
Sure.
It's in India. The owner of the eatery in India. Sorry to anybody who lives there and is listening and is offended. I apologize. He says the graves are great for business. The New Lucky Restaurant features tables scattered around real coffins, which date back to Muslim cemetery on which the cafe was built. I 1,000% can say I would never eat here.
I think I'd try it out.
Yeah.
Why not?
I definitely would not eat
that. As long as they have and I wonder if like do they have like a standard like rating for restaurants? Like in New York, like they have like the letter system, and if they're clean stuff like that, they get an A. Sub.
I'm gonna guess India does not
ones
have
like
that
B and
rating
C.
system.
Yeah, I wonder what they would get. I mean, but it seems like I'm looking at the pictures. It looks like
A is good.
clean, sort of.
Okay, so A
is good.
A is the highest though.
Yeah, it is.
And what's the lowest? D, E, something like that.
I've only seen C's around, and then I've seen closed like grade pending and shit like that. So
Oh, really? That can't be good.
Yeah, I don't eat at those places.
Grade pending.
Yeah,
It's too low. We have to figure out what we're gonna do with them. I don't know. I'd probably give that one a C. That can't be that can't pass health code stuff.
right.
In America.
I mean, I check it out, but how fresh are the corpses?
Today's corpses. It's like what's that?
Yeah, are
Five
they
Guys.
really old? Yeah.
It's like Five Guys. Today's potatoes are from wherever in Idaho. Maybe today's corpses are from. They have it up there to tell you where they're from.
That'd be great. Corpses of the week.
Yeah, and
corpses around the world.
Oh, we just got a fresh batch of. Their Facebook is probably like, oh, we just got a fresh batch of corpses in today. Come on down.
Yeah.
No,
straight from Mumbai.
I would not eat there. That's
awesome.
I can 100%.
I'd try it out.
No.
Why not? I mean, depends what my big question is, what the hell do they serve? As long as they're not serving corpses, I'm okay.
They serve. They bring the pig out on the.
I'd be okay. Would you? Here's a question for you, Adam, and for listeners. Would you be fine eating at a table with somebody's ashes, like in an urn right next to you?
Yeah, I'd be okay with that.
Okay, well, think of that, but
No,
not
I
ashes.
can't do that.
It's a coffin.
No, I was
right
gonna say I don't
next
think it's not just a body laying out there. They're actually in a coffin, but still, I don't think I could.
It looks like a coffin draped over with some draperies and like a cage almost, like
Yeah, and
these things
as
might
somebody
come back
pointed out in
alive
the chat room, you're afraid of germs, so I'm gonna be honest, you probably wouldn't go there.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you took a shower in.
Well, I mean, I'd Purell over the coffin.
I don't
I'd
think
probably
they'd
wear a
appreciate
bubble
that.
suit. Yeah, I think I'd still give it a try though.
Okay, you say that, but when it comes to New York, if anywhere in America it would come to, it would be New York.
Right. Oh, I'd try it out. Why not?
I'm going to hold you to that.
Do it.
If you ever go to India, you can check it out.
I'm going to see how I can submit my corpse when I pass away to this restaurant. If it's still.
Oh, there you go.
I want to be sitting next to people.
Like an organ donor, you can be a corpse
exactly.
donor.
Corpse donor. People do that for medical exams,
Yeah,
or
they do.
For universities.
So anyway, that wraps up the Weird of the Week. Now, before we get going, I did want to bring up to you, Manny, about is it tonight or next week is the finale of Walking Dead?
Tonight is the finale. It starts in 40-something minutes, or
about 45 minutes. So we'll be off the air in plenty of time for you guys to go check that out.
I've been told through the grapevine that it's a very bloody episode.
Yeah, I think
very, very raw.
The Walking Dead's
was the word used.
The Walking Dead's Twitter account yesterday said, "Who do you think will survive?"
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of. I think I've said it earlier in the show. I'm not a fan anymore of Walking Dead that much, but I still watch it. I guess I hate watch it. I'm a bigger fan of graphic novels.
Right.
I think people should read those. They're fun. But I still watch it, and I gotta say, this past season has had a new showrunner, and it's been a little bit better. I like the slower episodes, more about character than if anything. So yeah, I'll be watching tonight at some point. So maybe we'll talk about it next week.
Okay. Well, I don't watch the show. I just wanted to bring it up.
Well, I'm sure you'll see it on Facebook all over the place.
I haven't seen it since season 3.
Yeah. I'm more excited about Game of Thrones, I believe, next weekend.
That comes back next Sunday.
Which I actually got to see the first episode already. Well, I'll say half of the first episode. I had to leave to go to some other function, but they hosted this huge Game of Thrones fan experience at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and about, I don't know, probably about 8,000 or more people showed up, and they had like a bunch of the Game of Thrones Iron Thrones there, and people could take pictures, and they had a bunch of costumes and stuff. Then they had George R. R. Martin, the author, come out and talk about, I don't know, he did like, it's like a Q&A type of deal with like 3 of the cast members. And weirdly enough, Common, the rapper slash death poet, he came out and did like a rap segment or session. It was really odd. But Game of Thrones is doing this whole thing called Catch the Throne. It's like a rap album. Anyway, it's weird. But it was a fun experience, and the first half of the episode that I caught was pretty damn good, so I'm really excited for this new season.
Okay. And How I Met Your Mother is done, too.
Oh, is that the finale?
It's the finale this week, yeah.
Wow.
So, but, check out, we'll talk about some of those next week for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'll be on the show next week,
yeah,
prepared, so that means we'll probably talk a lot about TV.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, tonight's was a little last minute, so that's why we're kind of cutting out of here a little early. But definitely check us out, nextlevelradioonline.com, all our previous interviews and podcasts, like I said before. Check out our Facebook, facebook.com/nextlevelradioonline. Yeah, facebook.com/nextlevelradioonline altogether. And on Twitter at NXT Level Radio. So thanks again, Manny, for joining us. Everybody, you can go watch Walking Dead now.
I hope people didn't think I was like hosting this at a slaughterhouse or something, because there's people screaming in the background a lot. Just my roommates having fun.
That's okay.
But yeah, I was told it sounded like people are dying.
Like that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, thanks again, Manny. We will see you guys next week. And like I said, make sure you check out all our pages. Have a good one.
Godspeed.